What up, YouTube? Here with a review video for AEW All Out. And I'm gonna go through every matchup on the card. This is how I do my wrestling review videos. I review every matchup that happened on the card, give every match a rating out of a 5, and at the end of the video, I will give the overall pay-per-view a rating out of a 10. Now, with that being said, let's get to this review video. The opening contest to AEW All Out 2022 was the Casino Ladder match. Now, the Casino Ladder match is a AEW special gimmick ladder match. It's not like your average typical ladder match. If y'all know, the Casino Battle Royal is set like that. You know, that's like AEW's Royal Rumble. They have like Royal Rumble laws for this ladder match. It starts off with 2 competitors involved in this match, and every 90 seconds another competitor enters, and until all 8 men who are involved in this match are in the ring competing, that's when the clock stops, and until there's a winner. And this match was a good opening contest. Of course, it's a ladder match, so we're gonna see highlight reel spots. I think the best spot in the match was when one of the Lucha Bros sunset flipped. I think it was Roosh onto the ladder. I think that was the best spot in the matchup. And not all 8, but 7 of the 8 men, other than the wild card, are all a part of a team. You had both Roosh and Idolo, both of the Lucha Bros. Wheeler Yuta and Casanoli were a part of the BCC. Dante Martin, who's a part of Top Flight, but his tag team partner is currently not active due to an injury right now. And then the wild card, who ended up winning this match, it was a weird finish to the match because you had a bunch of goons dressed up. I say goons because they looked like goons from the movie Dead Presidents. They were dressed up in black hoodies and masks, hiding their identity. That's when the wild card was supposed to make his entrance and reveal himself, but a bunch of people in black hoodies and masks came out, took out everybody involved in the match, and one of them retrieved the chip to end the match, and he revealed himself to be Stokely Hathaway. As y'all know, if y'all been tapping in with AEW's content as of late, Stokely, they've been doing an angle with him where he's picking up and requiring a new talent to his group. As y'all know, when he made his debut, he aligned himself with Jade, Cargil, and the Baddies. He's considered the best manager in today's day, and AEW is actually making good use out of Stokely right now by having them pick up all these talents. He acquired Gun Club, Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, and the Joker, the wild card in this match, happened to be MJF, and a lot of people were expecting MJF to be the wild card for this Casino Ladder match, but we didn't get to find that out until the end of All Out. And it was, I don't know if it was like a cool finish. It wasn't like your typical finish because even though the wild card won the match, he didn't reveal his identity. We only saw Stokely and all his newly acquired talent. And the Joker stayed hiding his identity after Stokely passed him off the chip, and they all walked out. And the matchup, I get this matchup a 3 out of a 5. And next matchup on the card was the Trios title match. The Elite taking on Dark Order with Hangman Adam Page. Now, this matchup was a good matchup, good back and forth action between the 2 teams. A lot of close finishes in this match, and they really got to show off their skills. Both teams did in this match. Dark Order don't really get TV time like that on neither Rampage or Dynamite. but they're solid workers in the ring, and they definitely made their spotlight on a pay-per-view, which is rare for them to be on, and they definitely utilized the time slot that they had on All Out this past weekend. Did the Dark Order. They show what they're made of in this match. We all know the Young Bucks been talked about as possibly the best tag team of the current generation. So we all know what they're capable of in the ring. Kenny Omega was, considered the best wrestler, I think, last year, and we all know what he's capable of in the ring. Heyman Adam Page, we know he can work as well. So yeah, this match definitely didn't disappoint. I think it did better than most people's expectations. And they had a trios tournament, as y'all know, leading up to this trios title match. But the finals, this match between the Elite and Dark Order, was definitely the best matchup throughout the whole tournament. Now, I thought the trios title, AEW implementing that, it's been talked about that AEW was gonna bring the trios title in effect not too long ago. Was talking about it, but they actually put it to use at All Out, and hopefully good to come out of this, because AEW has way too many titles. So I thought them introducing this title might have been unnecessary, but they got I think everybody except for like CM Punk is a part of a group, so it gives all these teams more things to do in AEW for sure. But they've been implementing new titles when they acquired ROH, and they introduced the Atlantic title, and since they have so many belts, it's hard to with only 2 TV shows that they have, one of them only being an hour, they don't really have enough time to highlight all the titles. So hopefully this trios title don't get lost in the shuffle. But this matchup probably, in my opinion, was the best matchup on All Out. I give this matchup a 4 out of a 5. The Elite picked up the win as expected. I think when people were talking about that AEW was going to bring this title in effect, I think Tony Khan and them made this title for the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega for whenever Omega was gonna make his return, and surely that's what happened on All Out. So yeah, trios matches are always fun matches. So we're gonna see some of the best wrestling when it comes to the trios titles. Hopefully, like I said, they make the best out of these trios titles. Anyways, the next matchup, we saw the TBS title match between Jade Cargil and Athena. This was a short-lived match. It wasn't, a good back and forth match like that. You had Jade Cargil and her baddies interfere in the match, but Athena took both of them out, and Jade Cargil really squashed Athena in this match. Athena did have her moments here and there in the beginning and the mid part of the match, but Jade Cargil, this was to build more momentum towards her side. She improved her record to 37-0. Her undefeated streak continues, and I give this matchup a 2 out of a 5. And then the next matchup on the card, we saw FTR and Wardlow take on the team of Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. This matchup was a good, decent back and forth match, typical AEW match. Y'all know what I mean. AEW produces good wrestling. Like, they don't have squash matches like that, and even if they present squash matches, they at least let the jobbers get some kind of offense, unless it's like I don't know. It's rare for AEW to have like jobber squash matches, and they really pride themselves on good quality wrestling. So you get what I mean when I say wrestling fans know what I'm talking about when I say this is, you know, a typical AEW match, like back and forth, 1-2 false finishes, and you know they build excitement off of wrestling. And yeah, that's what it was. I give this matchup a 3 out of a 5. Honestly, the coolest moment in this match was when Dax Harwood's daughter got the pin over Sanjay Dutt after Samoa Joe also made his return following this match because, I don't know, after FTR and Wardlow picked up the win, they continued brawling and fighting because Satnam Singh and Sanjay Dutt was accompanying Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns throughout this match. So they had the numbers advantage regardless of the fact that Wardlow and FTR won the match. Then Samoa Joe made his return to even out the numbers a little bit. And then once Samoa Joe was fighting alongside Wardlow and FTR, that's when the baby faces had the upper hand. Then Dax Harwood brought on his daughter, Sanjay Dutt, after the baby faces took out all the heels, was left in the ring, and you know they pounced on them right quick. Then had Dax Harwood's daughter put her foot over Sanjay Dutt with the baby faces counting to 3, and that was like a good feel good moment for the fans and also for Dax Harwood and them to soak in. And did I already give this matchup a rating? I said a 3 out of a 5, right? If I didn't say it, well, yeah, I'd give this match a rating of a 3 out of a 5. Then next, we saw the AEW Tag Team titles being defended by Swerving Our Glory, taking on the Acclaim. I think this was the Acclaim's first pay-per-view match. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, AEW, I started, watching their content once I started tuning back into pro wrestling. And, I don't know if Acclaim, I think they've been in AEW since day one. They're like a homegrown AEW tag team talent. But I think this was their first pay-per-view match. At least, my first time seeing the Acclaimed on a pay-per-view event, and they got the challenge for the tag team titles. I said in the latest episode of Talk Wrestling that AEW has kind of had Swerving Our Glory ever since they won the AEW World Tag Team titles. They've been having Swerving Our Glory kind of lost in the shuffle, in the mix. They don't really get matches like that. They're never featured on their main program. They've been on Rampage mostly since they won the AEW Tag Team titles. Now the Acclaim, they've been building some momentum towards their way after their alignment with the Gun Club and Billy Gunn and the feud that the Acclaim and the Gun Club went through with Billy Gunn being involved. They've been getting some good amount of TV time before this tag team title shot that they got at AEW All Out. And I would say arguably this was the best matchup on the card. It's either that or the trios title match, but I say this match gets the same rating as the trios title match. I give this match a 4 out of a 5. Good back and forth action, good pace matchup. The Acclaim really got to prove to the fans and for the people watching that they belong on pay-per-view. They can produce good quality matches and they could hang with the best of them. And they came up short, but they really did perform at All Out. And I don't know if they still teasing a split between Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland, because first Keith Lee hit Swerve Strickland on accident, then Swerve Strickland hit Keith Lee, so there's that before they won the tag team titles, they were teasing a split between the two, and they keep, miscommunicating and, accidentally hitting each other here and there. So we'll see how they go with Swerving Our Glory. But this matchup, fantastic matchup. And yeah, Swerving Our Glory retained the tag team titles. Then we saw a four-way match to determine the interim AEW Women's World Champion. The four-way match between Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. This was a good match. Toni Storm won the match. I was predicting that Toni Storm would win. I thought, booking Toni Storm to be the interim AEW Women's World Champion was the right move, and AEW decided to go with that move. I think they're going to wait on Thunder Rosa to return whenever she's cleared to compete again, and then for Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa to feud to see who's going to be the undisputed AEW Women's World Champion. As y'all know, they formed an alliance with one another, forming a team called Thunderstorm, and Thunder Rosa had to relinquish that title due to an injury. So yeah, Toni Storm, I guess they're gonna, I would say the right move would be to have Toni Storm hold that interim AEW World Women's title until Thunder Rosa is clear to compete again. And as far as this match goes, it was a good matchup. I give this matchup a 3.5 out of a 5. Good back and forth action. There was also some tension and drama in this matchup as well. As y'all know, Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker are in the same group together. When Jamie Hayter looked like she had the match won, Britt Baker pulled the referee out of the ring to disrupt her count. Then they got into a little argument, and yeah, I don't know if they, Jamie Hayter, it looks like AEW is starting to push her. They're starting to give her more of a spotlight. So I don't know if they're gonna do an angle between Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, but we'll see though. Yeah, then the next matchup on the card, we saw, I don't know if I have the match orders correct. Anyways, next matchup on the card, we saw Christian Cage versus Jungle Boy. And from my perspective at least, this was a surprise heel turn. Luchasaurus turned heel by attacking Jungle Boy and aligning himself with Christian Cage once again. As y'all know, when Christian Cage first initially turned heel by attacking Jungle Boy, the week after that, Luchasaurus aligned himself with Christian Cage after Christian Cage got in his ears. Then it looked like when Jungle Boy returned, Luchasaurus only aligned himself to bait Christian Cage so Jungle Boy could get next to Christian Cage. And then now at All Out, we saw Luchasaurus turn heel by attacking Jungle Boy. Now, I didn't see it coming. And we saw like Jungle Boy pull off the cliche babyface move. After being attacked by Luchasaurus, he still wanted to compete. He got back up on his feet. To no avail though. Christian Cage hit the Spirit and the kill switch and got the win. I think they're gonna do more of a angle with these three, and I don't know what they're going to do. I think the right move is to have Christian Cage job out the Jungle Boy, because Christian Cage is the much older talent and Jungle Boy is the more fresher, younger talent. Now, Luchasaurus, I don't know if they're going to try and make him into be a unstoppable monster heel with Christian Cage as his manager. So I don't know if Jungle Boy is going to go over Luchasaurus. Now, these two were in a tag team since AEW started. They both can go in the ring. They both can work in the ring for sure. Now, I don't know how they're going to do as a singles wrestler, though. Jungle Boy as a babyface alone, I don't know how he'll do. The fans seem to take him in well. And as far as Luchasaurus goes, I think he's got more of a potential because he has Christian Cage as a manager. But we'll see though. I get this match like no ratings because it wasn't really a match. It was like a cool element to the show to see a heel turn. So, anyways, moving along though. To the next matchup on the card, we saw the Lionheart versus the American Dragon. I'm talking about Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. Good matchup. I get this matchup a 3 out of a 5. We saw Chris Jericho pick up the win via cheating. He hit the low blow on Bryan Danielson, then he followed it up with the Judas effect to pick up the win. And as far as the match goes, you know, like how they teased it to be Lionheart versus American Dragon, more submission, more technical based match we saw. So yeah, nothing less than we expected. Yeah, or at least nothing less than I expected. So yeah, I give this matchup a 3 out of a 5. We didn't see no involvement from the JAS or BCC. Yeah, but JAS, all the members of JAS after Chris Jericho won came out to celebrate with Jericho, except for Daniel Garcia, who stayed in the back, who's got the most involvement to this rivalry between Jericho and Danielson. He stayed in the back and watched from the back while all his brethren from JAS were helping Jericho celebrate that win over Bryan Danielson. Garcia looked at like conflicted, more than disappointed. He didn't say anything to Jericho about cheating to pick up the win because after the match, Jericho and Garcia had a convo, and on the next episode of Dynamite, it's going to be Yuta versus Garcia for the ROH Pure title, and Jericho gave Garcia a pep talk to try and get him fired up for his up-and-coming Pure title match versus Yuta on Dynamite. And yeah, nothing really came out of this match. So yeah, anyways, then the next matchup on the card, we saw a trios match between the House of Black and Miro, Sting, and Darby Allin. This match was decent. I get this matchup a 2.5 out of a 5. Had a cool finish. Sting spat miss into the eye of Malachi Black, and Darby Allin rolled up Black for the win. Miro, you know, as far as how this match was presented, Miro, he didn't want to tag in nobody. He's a singles wrestler who's not in no group, and he's got beef with Malachi Black, and not really with the rest of House of Black, but they just happen to be in the way because, you know, they're a part of House of Black, which is Malachi Black's group. And Darby Allin, you know, he's had a good rivalry in the past with Brody King, and recently because of that, he got into it with House of Black, and Sting happened to get involved because Sting is Darby Allin's mentor. Malachi Black spat missing the Sting. That's what led into, you know, more of a heated feud between Sting, Allin, and the House of Black. And yeah, Miro, same reason. And yeah, they had to, you know, join forces because I guess they got the same enemy type shit. And yeah, the match, you know, like I said, Miro, like I said, he's a singles wrestler who's not a part of no group. He wanted the action to himself only, and he didn't want to tag in nobody. That's how they presented the match. Sting, you know, his style, you know, barely selling, you know, playing his part, basically. That's what Sting is there for, to only play his part. And yeah, and Darby Allin, you know, he did, you know, most of the exciting spots in the match as per usual. And yeah, as far as anything news breaking that came out of this match was, you know, the only thing was that Malachi Black, you know, he waved off to the crowd. Apparently he's going to be taking some time off. There's been talks of him wanting a release from AEW because I guess he's not happy with the creative direction that they got him going in. And I don't know as far as all the, you know, outside stuff goes. I don't know these people in real life. I don't work in the back with AEW, so only those that work with AEW or that are close with Malachi Black really know what's going on. And as far as what I know of his contract situation, which I don't, I heard that he's locked in for a long-term contract with AEW. So him asking for his release, I don't know what's up with that. We'll have to wait and see what the future is between AEW and Malachi Black. Malachi Black is one of the most fierce competitors in pro wrestling right now. And he's got one of the best striking styles in pro wrestling right now. I think ever since he did make his AEW debut, they haven't utilized him to his full potential over there. Of course, he got released by the WWE, I think 2 years ago. Former United States champion, former NXT World Champion. But when he got the call up to the main roster, the WWE didn't really make the best use of him either. But as y'all know, Triple H now is the head of creative, and when Triple H was booking things in NXT, he had Malachi Black be the world champion. So I don't know if Malachi Black is reminiscing on his heydays back in the WWE. But like I said, he hasn't really been featured like that on AEW since signing with AEW. So we'll see what's to come out of Black and AEW. Then moving along, let's talk about the main event: CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title. 2 weeks prior to All Out, we saw CM Punk get squashed in less than 3 minutes. But after seeing the lead up to this match, I wasn't happy with the way things were booked as far as a lead up to the main event to All Out. After seeing some videos and hearing different perspectives, I could kind of understand it. CM Punk took that squash loss to Jon Moxley in Cleveland. That's a city he has history with. CM Punk, when he walked out on the WWE, that happened in Cleveland. When I think his first loss in the UFC happened in Cleveland, and his loss to Jon Moxley 2 weeks before All Out happened in Cleveland. So there's that historical relation to CM Punk in Cleveland. Then on the Go Home show to All Out on Dynamite, we saw Ace Steel, who is a close friend to CM Punk, who trained CM Punk, give CM Punk that pep talk to get him fired up. When CM Punk, an old guy who took time off of wrestling after walking away from the WWE, felt like he lost his touch, felt like he doesn't have it anymore, looked like he was going to announce his retirement or something like that. Then his homeboy had to, remind him who he is for him to step up and challenge Jon Moxley here at All Out for the AEW World Title. So I get it, maybe this is like CM Punk's last ride. We'll see if that pep talk that he got on the Go Home show to All Out would really work versus Jon Moxley, or will he get squashed again? So it left some questions in the air for this main event between CM Punk and Jon Moxley. But I'm still standing with what I said. I wasn't a fan of how this matchup was built, and I thought it could have been booked better. But it is what it is. The match happened to be good. I give this matchup a 3.5 out of a 5. Good pace match. Good back and forth action between the two. CM Punk was the one bleeding in this match. Usually it'd be Jon Moxley bleeding every match, but Moxley didn't bleed at all in this match. The fans were heavily involved in the match. You heard the fans in Chicago chant "Fuck Ohio." Jon Moxley was feeling the heat. He's flipping off the crowd, being disrespectful towards Punk. They showed the intense rivalry, the hatred they have for one another was displayed in this match. I thought, the psychology side of the matchup was very well displayed, along with good action in this match. So yeah, it was a good main event to close out the show. CM Punk hit 2 GTSs to pick up the win, and yeah, CM Punk fought a hard-fought win to once again become the AEW World Champion. And while CM Punk was celebrating his hard-fought win amongst his peoples in Chicago, it was interrupted by the wild card, the winner of the opening contest of All Out, and the wild card who stayed masked after winning the casino ladder match, unmasked himself, and yeah, like I said, it was MJF. He revealed himself as MJF. Before coming out, though, he played a video of CM Punk during his last run as a heel in ROH, where CM Punk refers to himself as a snake. And then we heard MJF's voice, MJF calling himself the devil. As y'all know, before the match between Punk and MJF at Revolution, MJF kind of I don't know if he took that from Punk, but that's what he nicknamed himself, and that's what he called himself before making his entrance to interrupt Punk's celebration. Then MJF came out and unmasked himself and had a stare down with CM Punk, and MJF stayed on the ramp just looking at CM Punk. Punk not backing down, looking back at MJF. So this is teasing a rivalry to rekindle between MJF and CM Punk. As y'all know, I would say they have probably one of the best rivalries in AEW history. They got great chemistry. They both could talk, and they both could work in the ring with each other very well. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to MJF versus CM Punk too. Obviously, Jon Moxley is still going to be involved in the world title picture, because you know Punk and Mox are both at 1-1 right now. The next pay-per-view for AEW is until November. Full Gear. I don't know if it's going to be Moxley versus Punk 2, or Moxley versus Punk 3. I think that might probably happen on an episode of Dynamite. I know MJF being the winner of the the casino ladder match. That guarantees him a world title shot, but I don't know if it guarantees him a world title shot at Full Gear. We'll just have to wait and see what AEW has in store for us as far as their main event picture goes. But I'm looking forward to it, is all I can say. And All Out, I would say, was a good pay-per-view. Obviously, AEW is going to produce good wrestling. I thought there was some good surprises. I thought AEW All Out was booked well. I'll give this pay-per-view a rating of a 7 out of a 10. And AEW, I thought their content has been meh as of late. It's gone down instead of going up. I think All Out was a good way for AEW to bounce back on the positive. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all opinions is in the comments. If y'all got a video reviewing AEW All Out, I'd love to hear y'all opinions on it. Comment, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.